Now, the least common multiple is basically the opposite of a factor of a number. Factor of 18 would be 2 or 3, because that's what they're divisible by. But a multiple of 18 would be 36 or 54, because it's 18 multiplied by something. What we're trying to do is we're trying to multiply each of these numbers up until we find a multiple that is common to all of them. So for 5 and 15, the lowest common multiple would be 15. For 2 and 7, the lowest common multiple would be 14. Now, we can list these out and say the multiples of 18, we have 18, 36, 54, 72, and we might need to continue listing those on for a while. What we can do, though, is if we take what we've learned with factoring numbers, we can take that and find the least common multiple. So I'm going to write out the factorization of 18, but I'm not going to use exponential notation, because the exponents will confuse things and make this a little bit more difficult than it needs to be. 18 is 2 times 3 times 3. 20 is 2 times 2 times 5. And 30, 2 times 3 times 5. So what I can do now, to find the least common multiple, that is, least common multiple between 18, 20, and 30, I need to look at all of the different factors that appeared in each of these numbers. Well, to look at 18, 20, and 30, they all have a common 2. So that 2 forms part of the least common multiple. These share a common 3. So 3 is part of the least common multiple. Those share a common 5. And we have a leftover 3 and a leftover 2. So those also form part of the least common multiple. General rule is, if it overlaps, you only need to count it once as part of the LCM. Last step to find the LCM is to actually take those 5 factors, multiply them together. Turns out that the least common multiple is 180. Which, if we would have continued the method up top past 72, listed out the multiples for 20 and 30 as well, we would have gotten to 180 in both. This one's just a little more mathematical, a little more concrete in the way that it's done.